Welcome back to the 24th Annual IBMA Awards Show from Raleigh, North Carolina. And now, to present the second of our Hall of Fame inductions, please welcome a 2013 nominee for Album of the Year and a nominee for Mandolin Player of the Year and Instrumental Group of the Year, Peter Rowan and Sam Bush.
Thank you. Among all the second and third generation bluegrass musicians who have influenced the direction of our music, no one has been more important or more influential than our friend, Tony Rice. Through his tenure with the Bluegrass Alliance, J.D. Crowe in the New South, the David Grisman Quintet, and the Bluegrass Album Band, his own Tony Rice unit, and our albums together as the quartet, he has created timeless, unforgettable music that will continue to influence those who want to play anything that sounds like bluegrass.
Don't forget to scratch my face. I started playing with the Bluegrass Alliance in 1970. That's 1970. And I was originally hired to play guitar and replace the great Dan Crary. And Pete, is that you? Oh, okay, sorry. Feeling a little warm up here. But now I was hired to replace Dan Crary, and no small feat. And Dan was gracious enough to teach me a lot of his solos, and it was my job to try to represent the great lead guitar that he had brought to that band. And I just started with the group, and we went down to Reidsville, North Carolina. So this is Labor Day 1970. Thank you so much. Camp Springs, yes. And I was walking through a field, and I saw the world's skinniest man sitting on a Martin Unipack case, if you remember the Unipack case, not their proudest moment. But he was sitting on this case in the middle of a field, playing the guitar like Clarence White. I was totally knocked out, and I immediately said, hey man, if you come play in our band, then I can go back to mandolin and we can have this great band together. And that's when I found out, when I told the other guys in the band, that the 18-year-old mandolin player does not hire a guitar player without talking to the other guys. Lesson 1 in bluegrass band etiquette. But when he came back to the campsite, and it was definitely a campsite where we were staying, and he played beautifully, and we all agreed we want this guy in our group. And that's how Tony came to play in the Bluegrass Alliance. And we all moved back up to Louisville and went on from there. And building on the foundation of his early hero, Clarence White, Tony became arguably the most influential guitarist in the history of music. His blues, his jazz, his incisive leads, created with amazing tones, snap and timing, are often imitated but never duplicated. For more than 40 years after he first recorded, they remain the gold standard in bluegrass and acoustic music guitar.
One of Tony's biggest contributions to the music has been his explosive yet silky smooth rhythm playings. For years, it's been nearly impossible to hear a bluegrass band without hearing a Tony Rice-influenced rhythm guitar sound. That's no exaggeration to say that. Much like Earl Scruggs did on the 5-string banjo, Tony Rice has created a language on his instrument, the guitar, one that is spoken around the world.
And none of that even takes into account Tony's singing. A beautifully strong baritone that graced some of the most important albums in bluegrass music's history. I remember when Roy Orbison said to Tony, "Off my foot, buddy." No, I'm kidding. He said that Tony was one of the best singers he ever heard. And everyone who heard Tony sing still talks about the power and the impact of his performances. And luckily, we still have all those great records that we still listen to and love his voice.
And what beautiful recordings they are. In his golden era, from 1979 to 1988, Tony gathered together and produced and released or played and sang on a series of albums that are legendary in their execution and legacy. Among them, Manzanita, Roses in the Snow, Emmylou Harris, Skaggs and Rice, the Bluegrass Band, Album Band, Volume 1 through 4, Mar West, Still Inside, Backwaters, Cold on the Shoulder, Church Street Blues, Me and My Guitar, Native American, Drive, Blake and Rice. Tony Rice plays and sings bluegrass and our albums on Rounder Records. Tony's sense of choosing material that fit his style and delivery was and is unmatched.
Many a time he would turn to writers like Gordon Lightfoot, but he could find inspiration in sources as different as Bob Franke, Randy Newman, and Joni Mitchell. For these and other reasons, Tony Rice has become an inspiration not only to bluegrass fans of the world, but to people such as Linda Ronstadt, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Chet Atkins, Eddie Van Halen, Johnny Depp, who, as you know, they look exactly alike, often mistaken for each other, Jerry Reed, Vince Gill, Zach Brown, and so many more.
Sam and I are so happy, truly honored to present this plaque right here, celebrating the newest member of the International Bluegrass Music Association's Hall of Fame, Tony Rice.
Gee, you know, when a few events similar to this have happened in years past, although on a much smaller level, you think you're ready to just go out and say what you're going to say. It's going to be simple. But to tell you the truth now, it ain't. And I want to give a sincere thank you to everybody within earshot. But thank you is not good enough. And I know in other languages around our globe, they have a special word for thank you that means much more than that. And I don't know what that is. So the best I can do for now is tell you all, thank you times 1,000,000,000,000. And I mean it. Yeah, thank you so very much, a gazillion, too, and all that. There's a very dear friend of mine and singer that is having voice trouble right now. A great human being with a great soul and a great talent, and somebody I love beyond belief is my dear friend Allison Krause. And I've been working on this on my own for the past few days. I don't know what compelled me to do this, but one day I woke up and decided to try a few things with my voice to see if anything at all could happen. Even just a little stepping stone toward restoration of the voice. And I tried a few things. And if my Heavenly Father is willing right now, I might be able to show you a little bit of what I've been working on. This is not easy. It takes some brain power to get into this, so bear with me a second. But I want to be able to tell Allison that now I am speaking in my real voice. Yeah. Thank you so very much. I'm giving it the best I got. And I figure maybe if I can keep this up, that one day again, maybe I'll be able to do what I have missed at times for 19 years now, which is to express myself poetically through music. And if I can keep this momentum going, maybe one of these days I'll be able to do that again. Thank you so very much. I don't want to take a lot of time up here. I remember when Crow was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Sonny Osborne was standing behind him. And Crow said, I don't want to take a lot of time up here. See Sonny standing behind him going. But there's some people I want to give a very special thanks to, just a few. Number one would have to be Sam Bush. And my next, my next person that I worked with after working with Sam for a while, I shouldn't say for a while because we still work together occasionally, but the next person I want to give a very special thanks to is J.D. Crowe. And I would like to give a special thanks to who back in the old days was this crazed out hippie that looked like he came from another planet or something. And he wouldn't be offended by this. But he asked me to participate in something with him. And I didn't think I could do it. I said, it's not possible for me to do this. And he said, yeah, you can. And he believed in me. And that man's name is David Grisman. And last but not least, I want to thank Nancy Cardwell and everybody even remotely connected with the IBMA staff for their help. Unbelievable what this organization is about. And I think it's the duty, it's our duty as not only musicians, but as participants of this music form, that it be like any other music form in history. It's been allowed to grow and flourish a little bit. But it's our duty to allow bluegrass music, as an opinion, it's our duty to allow bluegrass music to grow and flourish, and at the same time, retain the most important part of it, and that is the essence of the sound of real bluegrass music. I love you all. Thank you so very much.